Women are way less committed to relationships than men. And this is why marriages are falling apart. But we're not allowed to say that. Seatbelts on. Buckle up. I will say it again.
Safety first, because this argument is a rhetorical car wreck. Hit me with it.
Women are less committed to relationships than men. Roughly 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
This is accurate, but I think it's important to mention here that the word initiated means filed. So there's a little bit of a rhetorical sleight at hand at work here. As initiated also implies fault, she is laying blame on women for starting it. Infidelity remains the most popular cited reason for divorce. Depending on our data source, men are somewhere between 50 and 100% more likely to cheat on their partner. So what I want to suggest is that it actually makes a certain amount of intuitive sense that if husbands are cheating on their wives at a ratio of 2 to 1, that wives would be filing for divorce at about the same ratio.
They are willing to throw the towel in sooner.
I don't know whether this statement comes from a place of profound ignorance or profound malice, but it is completely contrary to the evidence. Women typically spend years trying to save the marriage, and then years slowly checking out before they finally file for divorce. There's a term for this: neglected wife syndrome, as well as a tongue-in-cheek term for the husbands of these neglected wives, which is sudden divorce syndrome. Because it is not sudden, it just turns out that they either weren't paying attention or didn't believe that it was actually that bad, despite being told repeatedly.
Feminazis will try to convince you that women do this because of men, because for them, the equation is always men equals evil.
If this characterization of feminists is true, if it is more than simply an ideological claim based on a stereotype, we would expect to see that borne out in research, right? Surprise, it's not. This is a common misperception among both men and women, yes. But the data that emerged from this grouping of 6 studies showed that feminists are no more negative in their perceptions of men than are men. That in fact, in many cases, feminist identified women had more positive attitudes toward men than did all other women, because they expect more of us. They believe that we can care and communicate, perform domestic labor, emotional labor. And those are certainly not the beliefs of people that think we are evil.
Imagine if we took men out of the equation entirely. Oh wait, we don't have to imagine that at all. We have that data. We have the divorce rates for lesbian couples. Lesbians have the highest divorce rates in the country.
This stat is true, but it is also meaningless without a whole lot of context. So male same-sex marriages are much less likely to end in divorce, yes. But those relationships are much less likely to result in marriage in the first place. Women are also more likely to marry young, to marry quickly, to be poor, all of which are factors that correlate strongly with divorce. And on top of all of that, they have to suffer with the indignities of both homophobia and misogyny. What I'm saying is that as a society, we set women who marry women up to fail.
You couldn't write it if you tried.
Which is a fitting cliche to end on because you didn't put any effort into presenting an honest argument at all.